believe I already said at this point, this is when the creature in the design starts to fry in the sunlight, right? Exactly, because it can't get out. That's Ola's doing. Odin, yes.
You said he became healthier when he was like the light,
Mm-hmm.
like the sun. Is he a Kryptonian?
Oh, well, if you want, I suppose you could say he's becoming quite heroic looking in his, in his stature and his, but yes,
so we made
be,
Superman now.
Yeah, be careful because I will go down a rabbit hole if you mention superheroes. I just thought of 20 things to say about Superman.
Yes,
so
sorry.
It's an extreme effort on my part, right? So you could to make a drinking game, right? Mention a superhero and see if Ron, how long he will go. Right. So let's see. We have the next. It is still not complete. There's not enough successes, and Ansa, you are going to start taking the damage from the sun, and so this is
every 10 minutes.
Oh, I know, but in this particular extended turn, it is each roll is not just a round. Each roll is 10 minutes of difficult science. So, for simplicity, I've decided that the rolls for the science and the 10-minute cycle of damage from the sun are the same things. So, the extended rules, or the rules for extended rolls, work that way already. So in that case, we are dealing with the damage is somewhere else. Hold on. It's on page 98. I think.
So when the sun hits Answer and Nora, what happens?
Well, Nora is not affected. Nora is actually protected by the coils of the dragon techniques that she has absorbed from Solveig. They will not last forever, but they will last through this. And so Nora is actually surprisingly unaffected, and she doesn't fear it either. So she doesn't have to resist frenzy.
Yeah.
And so
if I recall,
go ahead.
Because she has a higher blood potency, the frequency she takes damage is increased, and she didn't really have anything that instantly protects her.
Okay, so no instant protection. So the damage is going to happen, right?
Yeah. So I don't think she stays as long as.
Right. Are you going to leave to avoid the damage, or are you going to withstand the damage for this last phase? It's a question. Basically, if Ansa gets enough science successes, then, well, who knows? That's the question.
Yeah, I think she endures some minutes, then she goes back.
Okay, in that case, so let's humanity for Ansa is 6. Is that correct?
And I recall I spent 1 additional blood point to lower the blood potency.
Yes,
because
you
of
did.
The last one.
Right. Yes, I remember that.
So it's every minute now, but she doesn't stay.
Right. So.
Yeah, I have 7 humanity.
I can't believe you still have 7. You lose 1.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can.
You massacred all the. Exactly. I can't believe it. But anyway, so there you go. The 1 lethal damage, much less than you deserve, in my opinion. And then in 1 minute, yeah. So you're a 1 minute, and your humanity is still 7 too, correct? For Nora.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, for you, you're going to take 1 lethal damage for each minute. So the question is, how long do you want to stay? 10 lethal damage is pretty bad. I mean, for 1 per minute.
She stays like maybe 3 minutes.
Okay. Okay, excellent.
goes.
Leaving Ansa alone for the next round of attempting to make it through this. So you are going to have to keep
Okay.
riding the wave. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. How much damage you can take? Like, where does it say here? on your
Okay.
sheet?
On your sheet, this is actually the sheet works really well. What you do, you have this little row of dots, and where it says health, and what
Okay, yeah.
right, and what you will do is if you take a bashing damage, right, something bashes you, then you will put a little slash through it. And to a vampire, most damage is bashing damage. If you take bashing damage all the way to the end of your health, then I forget what happens, but I think a vampire can just keep going. Right, a vampire can just keep going. But the point is, if you take
No.
more... Oh, go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah, like the next time you take bashing damage
Right.
instead, is your the most outer bashing dots becomes a lethal
Exactly.
instead.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain, is that if you take lethal damage, then it's an X. And if you're already full of lethal damage, then one of your slashes becomes an X. So let's say you keep taking lethal damage. Ultimately, when you reach the end of the line, then you will go into torpor. When you get to the as you go over to the right, if you fill up with lethal damage, you will go into torpor. But if you take aggravated damage and you reach the end, which is the next escalation, then you will die. You will die the final death if you fill up with aggravated damage. So at the moment, it's the easiest thing in the world. Put an X on the box on the left. And what is your total health? Do you know?
Yes, it's let's say 7.
Right.
That's...
So if you take 7 of these lethal damages, you will go into torpor. Right. And if you keep taking lethal damage, then one by one, they are going to turn into aggravated damage. Maybe more one by one, depending on the amount. So, okay. I hope that's reason. It's actually pretty simple and effective, the system they have. So if you now are ready, let's see if you can make your composure roll this time to resist frenzy with composure and resolve. And Hans, let's check on you. Are you going to try to resist sleep, or are you going to just go into the sleep of the day in your safe place? So that's for Nathan.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm going to play safe.
Okay, so you're going to go into sleep.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this experiment is done.
Right. Okay. And that's fine. And then in the case of, it all depends on what happens in the experiment. If he turns into a vampire draining monstrosity, then we'll see what happens to you. But then for Ola, are you going to try to resist sleep, or are you just going to drop off into vampire sleep right there in your chair?
I will try to resist sleep.
Okay. And to do that, you must roll stamina plus resolve.
Right, that is not very good. And I don't have that much willpower left. Let's see. Yeah, that's 2 success.
Okay. So you do manage to keep awake, but you're going to get from now on you cannot spend willpower. And also you will get penalties after a few hours. You'll get less effective as we go along in hours, if that matters. but what you have the condition called lethargic. That is your right. So you are sitting there. You have resisted sleep, but you're a little bit,
Yeah.
right. Okay,
That's the
so
one.
resist frenzy again.
Yeah, I guess this is something where you can't use the willpower thing.
You cannot use willpower to resist frenzy.
Yeah, yeah. I was just trying. I had to try because it's no successes again.
Oh
I actually
no!
rolled 1, 1, 2, and 4, and
Oh.
then 6.
Oh,
Which is like, wait,
right, quite
why?
horrible. Yes. So in that case, this is bad, Nora. As you are leaving the room, you can see that she is starting to lose it. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I wanted just to see how, like, for... Because I could, like, go and feed to, like, lower the blood potency temporarily.
Uh huh.
It was more if I had time for that.
Yes, you do. You remember these are big time units. You can do that.
Okay.
Yeah. We are not in rounds right now. We are in turns of 10 minutes.
So I think she sneakily, like, go and sips some from patients or feeds.
Okay. So you're feeding on someone? I thought they drained all the vitae out of the subject.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
Ansa went all in and exsanguinated everybody.
Yeah, but it was more if I had time and if it was close by.
Okay, so in that case, try to ride that wave again. Spend a willpower and try to ride the wave again for Ansa. And this is composure and resolve with no penalty.
Okay, well that looks better.
Okay.
So it's
Right.
2 successes.
So you are managing to maintain yourself, but really this is terrifying for you, and you are burning willpower just to stay in the game. That's what's happening here. So in that case, it is the science roll again for your attribute, intelligence plus your science skill plus your specialty, but it's getting harder, so that's canceled by a penalty. So just your attribute plus intelligence plus science. At 4 successes on the other roll. Did you get some?
2 successes.
All right. Which puts us over this. You needed 6. And so the first roll you got up to 5. Right? Because you had 1 from the previous sessions. You got 4 more. And then you only needed 1 more. So the experiment is complete. And at this point, you do not need to fear the sun because Solveig is absorbing all of it now. As he opens his eyes and steps off of the mural, off the position that had been painted for him. And so he will basically stretch out his hand to touch you. And he offers to you. He says, I need you in the shadows, but I cannot deny your wish if it is your wish to join me. So you can basically become, a subject of the experiment and see if you too can become this sunlight being, but he wants you to stay a vampire because you're very, very useful as a vampire, but he cannot deny you this opportunity.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So, like, what's the benefit of staying a vampire? Like,
Well, for one thing, you can keep doing your cool ass experiments and stuff. You can be who you are. Look at your your dirge and your mask. Your mask, you're a follower. The mask says, stay as you are. Do the job you're good at. Keep your head down. Don't be special. That's what the mask says. The dirge, on the other hand, which is crazy scientist dirge thing. What was it?
I should remember. Oh yeah, idealist.
Yes. Oh, interesting. So it's up to you to decide which way your idealism would go in this, if anything, if it matters. Same thing for. Okay, well, we'll deal with Nora, I suppose. Nora, when you step out into the hallway, you will see Ejda kind of sitting there in a chair with his arms hanging straight down. He's awake, but not very talkative, or maybe a little talkative. What? I'm curious. What do the two of you say to each other, if anything?
Yeah, I say, hey, what's up? Is everything okay?
Everything seems to go well.
Well, that's good.
I will point out that Nora is looking like very burned.
Yeah.
I'm very hungry
It's
too.
fine, right?
So and okay, so it's all over now. We can go on with before. Can I go to sleep? Do you need help, or is
Yes, you can go to sleep.
okay?
Just stay.
Right.
Just up if she would require assistance.
There are,
Yeah.
I'm sure, some sort of cosmic effects occurring just on the other side of the door, but I don't know what they're doing out here in the hall.
I think I'm so. This was like the cue for me. Someone telling me that now your job is done. We have
Right.
succeeded. Now I succumb to
Right.
sleep. But I
Excellent.
would probably not just fall asleep on the chair. I would just like go 2 meters away and crawl up beside.
Right. Yes, exactly. You would instinctively seek some sort of tight
A
space.
trash can.
Right. Well, I think, remember, we had those little rooms where you beat the guy to death and things like that, or
Yes.
almost. So
Yeah, but
places
that's all-
like that, you can crawl into one of those and kind
I
of
would crawl
curl
into
up
one
like
of
an
those.
animal in there. And
Yeah.
so, Nora, you are able, of course, to maintain yourself at this point, but then finally, we see what happens in the room with Ansa. What do you do?
It's evolve.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, that's the winner thing. I guess, like, that personal gain. I don't know. I
Right,
hope.
right.
I guess.
Okay, well, in this case, you guys will all scream at me and hate me because we are going to have one of those endings, which is when Nora finally gets decides whether she's going to look into the room. Nobody will be there. And we get to end on the grand, oh my God, that's so cool and mysterious, Ron. Also known as me saying, I don't fucking know.
So basically, they have disappeared. They've become something else. From an artist point of view, that's really beautiful. And it's far away from the vampiric like power struggle thing.
Right. They transcended
but
something or other.
It doesn't
Maybe.
gain the mythology of becoming something powerful
Well,
in
it's
that way.
the good news for anybody scientific, there's all this data that got collected there.
Yeah, whatever. I
Yeah.
can make art of that, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, I guess that's it for us. I feel as though I really wish, maybe we can talk about it later. I really wish we could have done more of the human soap opera side of the game, but that's just, I think if you're going to play Covenant stuff, it takes over, you know? And if you're going to play human soap opera stuff, that takes over. So we went a certain way. All right, everybody, thank you very much.
Okay.
I
Bye.
Thanks.
will see you later.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bye.